All right, this is chapter 8-3, volume of spheres. So we went through the volume of cylinders and cones, and now we are on to spheres. Um, so this one is a little bit different. All right. No more capital B. All right. And no more capital B and then the H. With spheres, it doesn't have, we don't measure it with height. All right. Because if you notice, a sphere doesn't have any straight, flat sides. All right, so we measure it using pi in our radius. So let's look at this formula. It says volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. It's not pi r squared. It's pi r cubed. So it's raised to the third power. So you don't want to forget that one, and that one applies to the sphere. All right. So let's say I said that the radius in this case equals, let's go with 6 millimeters. We want to find a volume. There's only one number with spheres. That's what makes it very easy to do, because regardless which way you go here, whether you start from the top and come down or go that way, the radius is going to be the same. All right. So let's plug the numbers in. We have 4/3 pi times the radius is 6 to the third power. Alrighty. So I want you to show your work. So I really want you to do, what is 6 to the third power? That's going to be, do one thing at a time. Don't give me the answer next. Just do this part first and give me 216. Okay. Now I want you to take the 216 and multiply by the 4/3. All right. So you can go 4 divided by 3 times 216, or 216 times 4 divided by 3. Either way, you're going to still get 288 pi. Notice I still have an equal sign because this is an exact answer. Now, when we go to the next step and multiply that number times pi, now we're going to round. All right, so this is 904.7786842. All right. Now, we, of course, are going to round this, and the direction says to the 10th place. So we need to check that out. The 10th place is right here, and the next digit is a 7. That 7 means that the previous number will go up 1. So my answer is approximately 904.8. All right. And this happens to be in millimeters to the third power. All right. All right. Very good. Let's try one more. All right. Let's look at this particular question. I want to find the volume of this shape. This shape is actually half of the sphere, and it has a special name. I'm going to write it right here. It's called a hemisphere. All right. So let me get my pen here. There we go. Okay. This is a hemisphere. All right. All right. So this is what we need to understand. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. But since this hemisphere is half of a sphere, we need to put a 1/2 right in front. So we're going to actually multiply times a half, or divide everything by 2. It means the same thing. Divided by 2, multiplying that by a half means the same thing. So now, if I told you that this particular hemisphere had a radius of 5 centimeters, let's work that out. So Let's bring down to 1/2 times 4/3 times pi times the radius to the third power. All right, let's work this one out. We just take it a step at a time. So let's do this. Let's multiply these two fractions. 1 times 4 and 2 times 3, right? So that's 4/6 pi, and then 5 to the third power here is 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. All right. Now, this is going to be 2/3 pi 125. Why did I make this 2/3? Because I just reduced the fraction. Not required to do, but if you can make things a little simpler, that'll be a good thing to do. Divide both numbers by 2, reduce it, lowest terms, 4/6 equals 2/3. All right. So now I can take my calculator here and multiply 2 divided by 3 times 125 times pi. Okay. So you can go in any order. You can go 2/3 times pi times 125, or you can start from 125, work backwards. It doesn't matter. Multiplication is commutative. All right. So therefore, I'm going to have the answer of 261.7993878. Okay. All right. So we need to round to the 10th place. So I'm underlining the 7 because that's the 10th place. Circling the next digit, that's a 9. That means that 7 will go up. All right. So we will have this. My answer here is 261.8. And that's in cubic centimeters. All right. So the volume of this hemisphere is about 261.8 cubic centimeters. Great job.